The age of AI agents is upon us. With the launch of Claude 3.5 computer use, there are now AI agents that can not only understand your job, but can also perform it just as well as you can without ever needing to take a break. So in this video, I'm going to do a deep dive into what Claude 3.5 is exactly and what the repercussions could be for every single knowledge worker on the planet. If that includes you, then you won't want to miss this one. So this week, Anthropic have announced the release of two new models, Claude 3.5 Sonnet and Claude 3.5 Haiku. So Claude 3.5 Sonnet is basically an improved model. It delivers performance upgrades across the board from Anthropic's previous model, whereas Haiku matches the performance of Claude 3 Opus, the previous largest model, for the same cost and similar speed to the previous Haiku. So it's essentially a better version of the lower performance. But the most interesting part of the latest launch is, of course, computer use. This is an AI agent that can interact with a computer in the same way that a person can. So it can look at the screen, move a cursor, do all the things that you and I would do. This is important because the internet and computers generally are obviously built for humans to interact with them. So AI models up till now have not had this capability, and so you have had to interact with a chatbot like ChatGPT or whatever it may be. Now we're getting to a stage where you may be able to just ask the AI to do something and it can go away and interact with all of the different elements of software in the same way that a person can. So companies like Asana, Canva, Cognition, DoorDash and Replit have already begun to test it out, carrying out tasks that they say require dozens and sometimes even hundreds of steps to complete, which is obviously not something that current iterations of chatbots are able to do. They respond to your queries, but they do not go away and act with agency in the world. It sounds like this may be able to. So now let's identify the elephant in the room. With AI agents this capable, what does it mean for human workers who conduct their jobs by interacting with computers every day? People like you and people like me. Well, the current iteration of agents are clearly not that good, and so there's obviously still a use for people, but that may not be the case forever. Claude 3.5 is not just performing tasks, it's excelling. On many benchmarks, like SWE Bench Verified, it scores higher than all publicly available models, including those of OpenAI. So which jobs are in the crosshairs currently? Well, routine coding and basic programming, data entry and basic data analysis, administrative roles involving scheduling and basic communication, customer service that handles standard queries are all likely to be disrupted quite soon. We're already starting to see many call centers just being replaced with AI, with real-time voice interaction. You can understand how more and more jobs are going to be encroached upon over the coming months and years. And clearly those that are more repetitive and feel more like drudgery are more likely to be disrupted by AI. The jobs that will tend to be more secure, probably in at least the medium term, are jobs that involve a high degree of creativity and creating new things. AI is really, really good at regurgitating stuff that it's already read about in its training data, but completely net new stuff like scientific discovery, it's not quite there yet. It will get there eventually, I'm sure, but for now, things that involve creative ideation and brand new ideas are probably going to be safe. Jobs that involve complex decision making that has ethical implications also will probably be quite safe, because currently humans are the guardians of our social moral guidelines, and that will probably remain the case for a while. I can't see a world where we're outsourcing moral decision making and ethical decision making to AI anytime soon. Although, who knows? Jobs that require emotional intelligence like counseling probably will still require some degree of human interaction for a little while yet, although you can obviously see a future where the smaller tasks of a counselor may be taken on by an AI, and I'm sure there are many people who are talking to AIs about their feelings right now. And finally, the jobs that will be safe for quite a long time are manual trades, things like laying carpets, things like carpentry, things like plumbing. Although robotics is moving quickly, it's certainly not quite there yet. The human body is optimized in such a way that we're incredibly efficient. And so the biggest challenge is driving power through all of the actuators in an efficient way with battery power. We're still very, very good at all of that sort of stuff. The human body really is a marvel of engineering from an evolutionary standpoint, and robotics is not quite there yet. So those kinds of jobs will probably be safe for a lot longer. The boring, repetitive knowledge work tasks where you're sat at a computer doing data entry or routine workflow setups are probably on their way out. So what does Claude 3.5 mean for us? Well, honestly, it's a wake-up call. As if we needed one, that the future is not just coming, it's here. The agents have arrived and they're going to start doing your job pretty soon. So if you are in a job that requires routine coding and rote knowledge work, then you need to start thinking about what's next. And you really need to start thinking about using these AI tools to improve your own performance. If you can 10x yourself using AI, then you're less likely to replace by an AI because you are the one who is driving those productivity gains rather than your boss who wants to replace you. So my advice would be get ahead of it because it's coming. So that's it from me for this week. Thanks for sticking with me this far. I appreciate you. If you're one of the many viewers who's watched lots of my videos and hasn't yet subscribed, then I really hope you will consider doing so. Until next time, my friends, goodbye.